The young men being awarded their Eagle rank this afternoon, George, John, Jeffrey, and Michael, asked if I would speak on the history of the Eagle rank. I agreed, but grudgingly. I know that many of you heard the essence of this talk just a few weeks ago at a previous Court of Honor. To you, I apologize for the repetition, though I have added a bit of new material. I hope that those of you who are guests of Troop 79 today will find that I'm able to provide a valuable bit of context. When I'm done, I hope you have an even greater appreciation for why we view this as such a special day. As Justin explained, the Eagle Scout Award is Scouting's highest rank. The badge itself is its most familiar icon. Men who have earned it count it among their most treasured possessions, and I know that I do. Americans from all walks of life know that being an Eagle Scout is a great honor, even if they don't know just what it takes to earn it. The fact that a young man is an Eagle Scout has always carried with it a special significance, not only in scouting, but also in higher education, the military, the professional world, and the world of community service. The Eagle Award is a performance-based achievement requiring commitment, leadership, and service. The award is far more than a badge. It's a state of being. You are an Eagle Scout. We don't use the past tense once you turn 18 and are no longer an active Scout. You may have received the badge as a boy, but you continue to earn it every day as a man. In the words of the Eagle Scout Promise, which we'll hear repeated shortly, you do your best each day to make your rank and your influence count strongly for better scouting and for better citizenship in your troop, in your community, and in your contacts with other people. The first Eagle Scout rank was awarded in 1912 to Arthur Eldred of Rockville Center, New York, over 100 years ago. There are many notable Eagle Scouts who have followed in Arthur Eldred's footsteps. Some 2.4 million young men, actually. I won't tell you about all of them, but I will tell you about a few. But first, I'd like to point out a few past Boy Scouts who have spoken eloquently about Scouting's influence on them, even though they didn't make Eagle. Henry Aaron, a boyhood hero of mine and baseball's home run champion for many years, described Boy Scouts as having been the greatest positive influence in his life. The singer, Jimmy Buffett, made it to life. And he has commented publicly about how he still has and occasionally uses the first aid skills he learned as a Scout. Bill Gates, the founder of Microsoft, also made it to life, but not to Eagle. As an adult, he has supported Scouting, and at times he has publicly challenged the organization to improve. He received the BSA Silver Buffalo Award for his philanthropic work. But Bill Gates is purported to have described not advancing to Eagle as his single greatest failure in life. Tommy Lasorda, the longtime manager of the Los Angeles Dodgers baseball team, quoted the Scout Oath and the Scout Law from memory to a reporter at age 78. He didn't make it to Eagle either. Even Keith Richards, yes, that Keith Richards, the Rolling Stones, has some really nice things to say about his scouting years growing up in England. According to one source that I found, there have been 320 NASA astronauts. Of them, 181 were Scouts, close to 60%. Only 38 of them made it to Eagle. One of those, of course, was Neil Armstrong, first man on the moon. So yes, there was a bit of double meaning when he announced to the world, the Eagle has landed. The 113th Congress That's the one that served from 2013 to 2015, had 535 members. Of them, 191 had been Boy Scouts. That's less than half, closer to 40%. Of the Scouts, 28 had made Eagle. The current Speaker of the House of Representatives, Paul Ryan, was a Boy Scout. If you look, you'll find many references to the fact that he was an Eagle Scout. He was not. He bears many of the attributes, but he did not make it to Eagle. Interestingly, my source also tallied participation of congressmen and congresswomen as adult scouting volunteers. There are 57 in Congress. Joe Biden, our vice president, has also served as a scouting volunteer. Both the Astronaut Corps and the Congress have a higher than usual incidence of former scouts. And they both have many more Eagles than one would normally expect to find in any group in society. But even in those august groups of overachievers, not everyone makes Eagle. Now let me single out a couple of prominent Eagle Scouts. As noted, many astronauts were Eagle Scouts. You may remember the movie Apollo 13 about the lunar mission that suffered an explosion mid-flight and had to limp back home. Well, the mission's commander, James Lovell, he was a guy played by Tom Hanks in the movie. He is an Eagle Scout. Does that come as any surprise? One can argue that Lovell personified our motto, be prepared. We can also give him full credit for at least one point in the Scout law. A Scout is brave. There are many former Scouts in the entertainment world. Steven Spielberg is an Eagle Scout. He famously got his professional start by earning the Photography Merit Badge. He got special dispensation from his Merit Badge counselor to create a film because his still camera was broken. Years later, as an adult, he helped set the requirements for the Boy Scouts' new Cinematography Merit Badge. And I'll note here as an aside that the actor Harrison Ford made it to life as a Boy Scout. He was even a summer camp counselor for the Reptile Study Merit Badge, which is a little hard to believe if you remember Indiana Jones's well-known fear of snakes. In fact, in one of the movies, the young Indiana Jones is depicted as a Life Scout. That was Spielberg's little homage to Harrison Ford's rank. Gerald Ford was not the first president to be a Boy Scout. John F. Kennedy was. But JFK didn't make Eagle. Ford did. Many years later, he said, "One of the proudest moments of my life came in the Court of Honor when I was awarded the Eagle Scout badge. I still have that badge. It is a treasured possession." President Ford died in 2006, and per his request, Boy Scouts figured heavily in the funeral arrangements. Eagle Scouts served as ushers at the funeral service at Washington's National Cathedral. And 200 Eagles were requested to serve as the honor guard for his casket when he was laid to rest in Grand Rapids, Michigan. 400 Eagles came out to honor him. You've probably never heard of Scott Strauss the way you've heard of these other Eagles that I've just described. Strauss served on the Emergency Services Unit of the New York Police Department. As Strauss put it, quote, "If a civilian needs help, they call the police. If the police need help, they call emergency services." He was just coming off duty on Tuesday morning, September 11th, 2001, when first one plane struck the World Trade Center and then another. He rushed back to duty, and the story of his effort to rescue others from the rubble is harrowing. Recounting it later, he said, and I quote again, Do your best. Do whatever you possibly can to help someone. Help other people at all times, even if it's going to cost you your life. That is what you do. Yes, those are the words of an Eagle Scout. And for his efforts, he received the NYPD's Medal of Honor, its highest decoration. And as it happens, the award was draped around his neck by another Eagle Scout, New York's mayor at the time, Michael Bloomberg. These men, Jim Lavelle, Steven Spielberg, Gerald Ford, Scott Strauss, they did the same things that George, John, Jeffrey, and Michael did in their scouting years. They were sleeping in tents, climbing mountains, learning first aid, and helping others. They were becoming leaders. Regardless of his specialty, the Eagle Scout is a special person. This is going to be fun with this crowd. Will all Eagle Scouts in attendance please stand and be recognized? I love the video. Please introduce yourself and tell us when and where you earned your Eagle. Why don't we start over here in the front of the room and just work our way to the back. If you would, please.
Charles Subran, February 7th, 1992, in Boston, Massachusetts.
Chris Potts, May of 1980, Troop 507, Winchester, Mass.
Eric Gordon,
1972, Troop 6, Lowell, Mass.
Jordan Badman, 1978, Swampscott, Mass.
Andrew Barden, March 10, 2010, Eagan, Massachusetts.
Daniel Xavier, June 8, 2011, Gloucester, Massachusetts. Justin St. Louis, November 1st, 2012, Troop 7.
Brendan Morrison, Troop 3, Lowell, Mass. October 17, 2000.
George Cooler Harris, Troop 80, Drake, Mass, 1982.
Christopher Breton, Troop 80, Drake, Mass. June 26, 2008.
George Barlow, Troop 41, Merrimack, Mass, June 2013.
David St. Louis, Troop 7, Troop 25, Lowell, Mass, January 1990.
Brian Eckelkamp, October 2013, Wilmington, Massachusetts.
Alan Barlow, Troop 41, Merrimack, Mass, March 2013.
Zach Shepard, Troop 74, Chelmsford, April 11, 2011.
Jeffrey Warren, December 12th, 2015, Troop 76, Andover.
Eric Stevens, Troop 157, 1981, June.
Dave Rickers, Troop 735, 1983 in Ripon, Wisconsin.
Ray Skorczynski, August 14th, 1978, Holcomb, Wisconsin, Troop 113.
Derek Witt, July 2012, Troop 76, Ballard Vale.
Devin Witt, Troop 76, Andover, Battle Vale, 2015.
Steve Hathaway, Troop 119, Lexington, Massachusetts, October 25.
Mario Ranieri, July 1985, Troop 19, Weymouth, Massachusetts.
Ed Hunt, Troop 7, North Haven, 1978.
Craig Milligan, 1988, Troop 76, Ballard Vale, the capital of Andover.
Capital of Andover.
Did we get everyone? Thank you, gentlemen. By my count, there were 28 Eagles in the room, and I'll make 29. I'll wrap this up by reintroducing myself. I'm Tom Davis. My Eagle pin was awarded in April of 1979. My hat is off to those of you who remember the day. I was pretty happy to remember the month. I was a proud member of Troop 920 in Houston, Texas. I hope the stories and statistics I've shared have helped you to understand the lasting impact scouting can have, as well as the special significance of the Eagle Scout rank. And I trust you can look at the many Eagle Scouts in the room who just introduced themselves as living, breathing evidence to support my claim. George, John, Jeff, and Michael are joining the community of Eagle Scouts today, and we're glad to have them. I'd like to close by reminding them and you that their achievement was not a solo effort. Far from it. They made it here today through hard work and perseverance on their own, for sure, but also with amazing support from their family, friends, teachers, their scouting leaders, and from their fellow scouts, and from each other. We all can and should take pride as we celebrate their achievements today. Thank you.